Earth's oldest and largest religions in the world today. Believe in reincarnation and thousands of gods. These gods include Brahma, the god of creation, Vishnu, the supreme god, and Shiva, the destroyer. Hindus still practice the same rites and rituals as their earliest ancestors.
The Hindu culture is really quite fascinating. They believe in 4 of the most important stages in life: childhood, youth, middle age, and old age. They call these rituals samskars.
Okay, you see, the Hindus, with their rituals, they start off very early. Even when the mother is first pregnant, they start off at the 3 month, and that is the very first ritual that they perform on their child. And then the next one comes like at the 7 month pregnant, and you see, but the ritual after that is called the Jata Karma, and that is when the child is actually born and they welcome it into the earth. And yes, it's quite an interesting ritual.
In the youth rite of passage, they perform a second ceremony of birth, which is called the Upanayan. In the beginning of this ritual, the boys, they die off of their younger selves and they are born into their newer versions, their older versions. In the beginning of this ritual, the boys, they feast with their mothers as a final meal, and then are expected to to take on more responsibilities and all that stuff as they are introduced to manhood.
Upanayan is performed when the youth is old enough to go to school. The child is given 3 strands of sacred thread. It symbolizes 3 vows to respect knowledge, parents, and society.
Now, when it comes to the marriage rituals, they're not always exactly the same when it comes down to the very precise detail. They're not exactly the same. You know, it varies from region to region. And the marriage rituals normally take a very long time. Each ritual will take about, several hours, I would say. And one of the very first marriage rituals is called the Jayamala. That is the first ritual that the bride and groom get together and meet their families, and they kind of build their relationship and get to know each other. And they exchange garlands, which are almost like vows, if you would say. Now, you shouldn't confuse arranged marriages with the forced marriages, because forced marriages are when, the bride and the groom, they may not like each other, but they still are forced to get married. I.e. forced marriages. But, arranged marriages is when there are both agreements from the bride and the groom, and, they agree, and, they might actually want to get married, but that is the difference between an arranged marriage and a forced marriage. Another one of the main stages in a Hindu wedding, is a Madhu Parka, and that is where the bride and the groom are brought together in a nicely decorated altar sort of figure, and they are offered a seat, a welcoming seat, and then they are offered a welcoming drink, which is a mixture of the milk, the yogurt, the ghee, the honey, and the sugar.
Although Hindu rituals are called sanskars, when it comes down to marriage, they're called viva sanskars.
The final ritual of Hinduism is cremation after death. Before the dead are cremated, the relatives, they usually purify them in a bath, and then they cremate them on a box where they dump their ashes into a holy river.